In case you haven't been keeping up with the insanity, MAGA chuds have decided to jump headfirst into the shallow end of a deep new conspiracy theory involving Taylor Swift and now the Super Bowl. That's right, Swifties, you're on notice. MAGA's after you. So apparently, the right wing, for some time, has been believing that Taylor Swift is an FBI/Pentagon psyop to try to get young people into voting for Joe Biden. In fact, earlier this month, Jesse Waters did this bizarre segment on Fox News explaining it. Kind of.
So is Swift a front for a covert political agenda? Primetime obviously has no evidence. If we did, we'd share it. But we're curious because the pop star who endorsed Biden is urging millions of her followers to vote. She's sharing links. And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, sponsored by Pfizer. And their relationships boosted the NFL ratings this season, bringing in a whole new demographic. So how's the PSYOP going?
So how is the PSYOP going? Well, depending on who you ask, either very well, not really, or what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jesse? All depends on who you ask, as I said. Now, MAGA has continued this and is even more convinced now that this is happening, that this PSYOP is going to lead to the Super Bowl being rigged. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs upset the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game on Sunday, leading to failed presidential primary candidate Vivek Ramaswamy posting this on X/Twitter, quote, "I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall." Now, look, this, again, major candidate, somebody who now supports Donald Trump, right, was up on stage with him, and he's posting this weirdo stuff. Are people falling for it? Of course. One response came from a paid verified account with 55,000 followers who added, "Nothing feels organic about Taylor's rise, or this whole relationship, or now this whole Super Bowl thing." Ah, yes, Super Bowl thing. Now, look, I may be out of the mainstream. I might be considered to be uncool in some circles. I know, right? I don't watch football. I have no interest in sports. I don't really care if you do. That's fine. Everybody's got their own thing, right? I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Again, not my thing. If it's your thing, cool, great. But I do know, at least I'm in the loop enough to know, that both seem to be very popular forms of entertainment. Enjoyed and beloved by millions of people. Great. Now, that alone, however, seems to be bothering people on the right. In fact, the fact that Taylor Swift is popular among young people has Newsmax's Jesse Kelly, his underwear is in a twist.
I kind of have a problem, though, with the hardcore Taylor Swift fans. They are totally over the top, worshiping this woman. Have you seen any of the pictures of her in concert? They're elevating her to an idol, idolatry. This is a little bit what idolatry, I think, looks like, and you're not supposed to do that. In fact, if you look it up in the Bible, it's a sin. So I don't like that, and I'm also over this new boyfriend.
I am so over this new boyfriend. Bro, you were supposed to be a news guy on a news network, and you're talking about, I mean, I am so over this relationship. Oh my God. Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and by the way, it's a sin, idolatry. And it says so in my 2,000-year-old book, everybody. Yeah. Okay, look, here's the thing, though. Sure, you can get sick of talking about celebrity news. That's why I, rarely talk about it. But again, this is now into the political realm, kind of my wheelhouse. To think, though, that a popular celebrity is part of a deep state PSYOP conspiracy because they happen to favor Joe Biden. I mean, unsurprisingly, a young, very popular woman being in favor of not Donald Trump. I know, crazy, right? Look, here's the thing, though. The right wing loves celebrities. They can't get enough of them. The only problem is there's not a lot of good celebrities, A-listers, that are going to be on the side of Trump. All right. Why do you think they have Scott Baio, Kid Rock, okay, and some other names, right? I'm not a huge entertainment guy. I told you that. They love celebrity. Ronald Reagan was a celebrity. Arnold Schwarzenegger, celebrity. And of course Donald Trump. And by the way, they're all Republicans, even though Schwarzenegger generally doesn't agree with Donald Trump. Hell, Ronald Reagan probably wouldn't even agree with Donald Trump. Okay, he did give amnesty to undocumented immigrants. Letting you know, the right wing though, they love celebrities and they desperately want Hollywood to be on their side. Problem is, Hollywood is never on their side because when it comes to art and artists, generally they tend to have left-leaning values. Art is about creativity, and it's about making things that people enjoy. Look, I don't know why conservatives hate liberal arts. They've always made fun of it. Remember that? Liberal arts college, classes. No, you should stop going to liberal arts and get into something like banking. Ah, yes, banking. Yes. Hey, you want to make a lot of money? Yeah, go into banking. But that's also if you want to off yourself from boredom. Or if you don't really like working with numbers or, hate Wall Street, et cetera, right? At the same time, they decry art when what do generally rich conservative billionaires do? Oh yeah, they do a lot. They buy a lot of expensive art. Weird how that works, but I don't know. I'm getting off the point. Back to Taylor Swift, right? So why are they obsessed with Taylor Swift? Why do they think that she's some sort of psyop? Well, they view her as a threat to Donald Trump's electoral chances. And they might be right. She is really, really popular. She has a very high favorability rating. And so people like her. She's got a very huge fan base. They're young people, and she's encouraging them to vote. Now, young people are already pretty progressive. Young people do not identify as Republicans. In fact, more Gen Zers identify as LGBTQ than they do Republican, right? And so I really don't think that the current message that Republicans are putting out, we hate LGBTQ people, and we hate wokeness, and we don't like black people, we don't like DEI, we don't like all of that stuff, is that really going to resonate with a very young, very diverse, very accepting generation of people, who are left-leaning? Now, at the same time, I do got to know, young people aren't sold on Joe Biden either, especially considering what's going on in the Middle East, the things that Joe Biden is currently supporting. So her endorsement, and I'm talking about Taylor Swift here, extremely beneficial for Joe Biden, getting some of these younger people to turn out. She endorsed him in 2020. The youth turnout was very, very high in that year. And so it's no secret that he could use that. Of course. And now, she's also dating Travis Kelce, right? So he's considered to be a man's man. Now that's interesting because it goes against the right-wing narrative of what a supposed man's man is supposed to be. Now his older brother, for example, Jason, a center for the Philadelphia Eagles, is the kind of guy who celebrated his brother's on-field performance by shotgunning 40 beers in the shirt and going shirtless in the freezing Buffalo winter. Man's man. That's right. Ain't no
beta.
Not in that household. Hell no. That's not exactly what people on the right think of as liberal voters. Now, of course, they have this weird caricature in their mind of what liberals actually are, okay, or left-leaning voters. And anything that disrupts that kind of makes their head explode, okay? That said, look, Swift and Kelce supporting Joe Biden could potentially make a pretty big difference here. But does any of that add any validity to the idea that this is some deep state plot to use this and the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift to try to boost a very unpopular Joe Biden, which, by the way, you can look at the polls. He's pretty unpopular right now, especially among young people. Okay? And so that's the reality. What this is, for Joe Biden, he's looking at this as a political opportunity, right? And his team. But that doesn't mean that there is some deep state machinations that is artificially built her, created her in a factory, and now are using their weird powers to rig the Super Bowl. If they did that, why wouldn't they just hand him the election? Oh, I know that they already believe that. So never mind. That said, facts aren't going to stop them. Evidence isn't going to stop them. Reality isn't going to stop them.
Just forget about the evidence.
Okay? The right is going to go full steam into a fight with Swifties.